So Shane, speaking of the people and the problems and the freaking leaders, Alejandro Mayorkas.
Yeah.
The impeachment was failed. Talk to us.
Yeah, so as you might know, Republicans attempted to impeach Mayorkas and failed to do so this week. The House had successfully impeached him a few months ago, but then the Senate had to vote on it, and Chuck Schumer, again, played the Republicans. He trapped them into getting into a debate before the debate by being like, does this meet the threshold of high crimes and misdemeanors? And they had to say, the Republicans said yes, Democrats said no. Democrats outvoted them because they have the majority. Case closed. No debate even happened. Ted Cruz and all these Republican senators were going to have all these points and bring them up to the floor and, go and debate them, but Schumer just crushed them. So Mayorkas is fine. He's free to keep doing his job or lack of a job.
Dereliction of duty.
So what he was being impeached for was willfully and systematically refusing to enforce federal immigration laws and lying to Congress about his efforts to keep the border secure. This was in January during a congressional hearing. Thomas Homan said this. I love this.
Go ahead.
President Biden is the first president to ever unsecure a border on purpose. The current administration's failure to enforce and uphold the laws as written by Congress are not just matters of legal debate, but have led to unimaginable suffering and death for Americans and migrants alike. For 3 years, this administration has directed and overseen the implementation of an open borders agenda that has resulted in a national security, humanitarian, public health, and public safety catastrophe unlike any we have ever witnessed at America's borders. To put this into context, all one must do is look at Customs and Border Patrol's own data from the Biden administration that shows total enforcement actions in fiscal year 2020 was approximately 646,000. The next year, full year under Biden, we tripled that number to 1.9 million, followed the next year with 2.7 million, and then in fiscal year 2023, 3.2 million. When you have those kinds of encounters, it overwhelms the Border Patrol to the point where they have pulled up to 100% of agents off patrol to come in and process these large groups, which leaves hundreds of miles of border with no security and not a single agent on watch. And as James Corner, the House Oversight Committee chairman, said, President Biden and his administration have refused to take any responsibility for a catastrophe they've created, and now the Biden administration is doing what it does best, asking taxpayers for more money. But more money isn't going to solve much on the border. He's talking about the border bill. The Democrats were like, we're willing to come to the table. Why won't the Republicans?
Yeah, with $60 billion for Ukraine. Oh, yeah, that's the table bill.
Exactly. Right. So he's saying, he goes, more money isn't going to solve much on the border because what we are seeing isn't a money problem. It's a policy problem. A blank check doesn't mean more detention and removals of illegal aliens, which is what is needed to stem this crisis. A blank check means more Biden administration policies undermining U.S. immigration law. A blank check means even faster releases of more illegal aliens into the interior of the country. A blank check means more agency memos and rulemaking to undermine the rule of immigration law in this country. So, like, what he's saying is you can solve this very quickly. It's called deportation, and it's called not accepting economic migrants as asylum seekers. They're not fleeing any war. They're simply coming here, and you are not doing any vetting, and you're just treating them as if they're refugees under a Obama-era asylum policy.
Yeah.
There's no need to funnel more billions into this problem that's just going to expand the Biden administration's coffers. And I want to play this video of Mayorkas that I found online.
But I get disgusted. I'm telling you guys right now, every time I see his face, I get sick because I want to punch him in his face.
Yeah,
Jeff
so
Bezos look motherfucker.
Oh,
That's
I
he
hate
looks
it,
like.
bro.
Oh, this WEF guys.
By the way,
all look
before-
the same.
that-
Bald,
Look like
skinny.
lasers.
Before she plays this, guys, whenever you hear people getting sworn in or the Constitution and you hear defending this country from enemies, foreign and domestic, this is the domestic enemy that they're talking about. Not these militia people, not this. It's people like Alejandro Mayorkas that sit there with their beady eyes and little ratty ass face, and they're destroying us from within. Go ahead, Shane. You can play whatever you want.
yeah.
I'm so pissed off. This is Mayorkas.
Can you just play this at like 1.5 speed, by the way, just so we can get through it quicker?
Of the American border crisis.
Right now, the House is trying for the second time to impeach Biden DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
The yeas are 214 and the nays are 213. The resolution is adopted.
You've seen the videos of the crisis at our southern border. You've read the tragic stories of the Americans who have been killed by the drugs and crime pouring into our country. You may have even read about the ways in which Mayorkas' policies at the Department of Homeland Security have facilitated this disaster. But what you might not know is that Mayorkas' role in our open borders crisis started years before he joined the Biden administration. Prior to his current position as the head of the Department of Homeland Security, Mayorkas served on the board of the Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, or HIAS. The organization is part of a sprawling coalition of NGOs, activist groups, and nonprofits, hailing from a wide range of both religious and secular backgrounds that partner with both the United Nations and the U.S. government to push for open borders. The Biden administration's connections to this network run deep, well beyond Mayorkas and HIAS. Robin Marcos, the director of Biden's Office of Refugee Resettlement, previously served as the senior director of Resettlement, Asylum, and Integration Program for the International Rescue Committee, a powerful NGO that helps to aid and coordinate the flow of immigration up to the U.S. border. Katie Tobin, who served as a senior border advisor on Biden's National Security Council, previously worked for Annunciation House, a major Catholic immigration nonprofit, which is currently being sued by the state of Texas for helping to facilitate illegal immigration. Mayorkas joined the board of HIAS in 2020. HIAS bills itself
can you
as
skip
the
to
world's
235?
oldest refugee agency. The group was founded in 1881 and was originally dedicated to aiding and play a critical role in our open borders crisis. At the government level, HIAS regularly lobbies for open borders, amnesty, and
They
uncontrolled
lobby
immigration.
for this.
On the
It's not just
ground,
accidental.
the group
It's not like,
actively
oh,
facilitates
there's a lot
the
of
ongoing
immigrants
invasion,
for some reason
with everything
right now.
from cash cards and vouchers for immigrants arriving at our
yeah.
border
This is on
to
purpose.
Spanish
Of
language
course it
maps
is.
showing immigrants how to get here.
And what's
Look,
providing
they're
tents,
showing them maps how to
shelter,
get here.
and legal and medical services for immigrants to use during their journey up.
Dude, this is a full-scale
Once
operation.
they've
They're
made it
teaching
into
them how to do it.
America, HIAS
Of course
helps
they are. Their
resettle
maps, they're
them
giving
in
them cell phones,
communities
they're giving them
across the
fucking
country.
debit cards.
All of this is
What are we
funded by
talking
your
about?
tax dollars. HIAS had an operating budget of more than $162 million in 2020.
Like, that's a
Nearly
fucking
half
lot of
of
money.
its funding
Well, you
came
think
from government
$1
grants.
million?
And over half is
Including
from the
from
government.
Mayorkas.
All right, you can end it
All right,
there.
so wait, so
Millions.
so we're watching, dude. It's obvious to anybody that has half of a brain. It's a plan. What's the end game? Like besides the votes, you're trying to destroy us in a country that you have to live in. Well, I don't understand.
Well, so they don't feel like it's their country that they have to live in. They feel like they're doing a mission here for a time in order to create a one world government. So like they're trying to overwhelm and completely overwhelm the system and have it crash in order for new laws to be put in place that aren't constitutional.
To overthrow the West, overthrow America, because the United States at the end of the day is the strongest superpower and the best possible chance that we're going to be able to defeat this evil, sadistic agenda.
Right.
Because it's happening, and we're going to, come back to that a little bit in my story, stuff that's going down in Australia.
I was gonna
Literally,
say.
like, the USA is our best possible chance of being able to get out of this.
Second Amendment is as Brandon says, it's the one thing that the globalists hate the most because
Big time.
it's a gigantic army of people who are in favor of limited government and they're armed and they can withstand it. Whereas you have like in Australia, people just being like rounded up
Well,
for
they
the
can't do anything.
Do you
camps. I can't say the word.
Yeah.
C
Second
word.
Amendment or the First Amendment? Which do you think they hate more?
Well,
because
the first only matters because of the second.
because we have the right to defend ourselves.
Yeah.
We have the right to free speech.
Because
Okay.
if you were
Yeah.
unarmed and you were like, well, I think it's like we don't care, buddy. Like
So
get in the
true.
truck.
You know what drives me crazy with everything? Like besides him, because I genuinely think he's the enemy of the people. But he needs security all the time,
Right.
Just like Fauci, because we know who the fuck he is. But that deportation thing, nope. I'm warning. This 20 million people, those numbers, bro. Tom Homan and all them say that the number's closer to 20 to 22 million people here by 2024, the end of it. Good luck even thinking you're going to deport these people. Let's say Trump wins. Best case scenario, Trump, yay, he wins. If he tries to deport one illegal child and there's a video camera there from MSNBC or CNN, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
Kids in cages, the fake whipping of the El Paso, the
Fascism.
Guys, it's not going to happen, and I'm sick and tired of all the brainwashed people going, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat, left or right. There is no left or right. The Republicans are controlled opposition. They're just there to make you think, like Senator Hawley yesterday. What a great act. It's an act. Mayorkas sits there with his fucking beady eyes, and they ask him all the questions. He goes, you lied to Congress, you lied about Lake and Riley, you lied about this, you lied about that. You know what he says? What do you have to say about that? I can't talk about an ongoing investigation. Mayorkas. That's from Mayorkas. Alejandro Mayorkas. Anybody knows him? Send that to him. You're a freaking rat. You're the enemy of the people. By the way, I'm just tired of it. Every day, and it's unfolding in front of our eyes. What you're showing us is out there.
Yeah.
People are seeing it, and what are Americans doing?
Nothing.
Still,
We're actually paying for him.
We're paying for
We're paying
the
for him
guy's
to
salary.
do this. His salary
And his whole
is
team.
$203,500 a year.
And
this guy is
that's just what you
making
see.
6 figures to not do his job, and we're
Bang.
paying him to not do his job and allow him to do
And you
this.
can't fire him.
Yeah.
Not doing his job. He's doing the complete opposite. That's why we're tired of this shit. Going back to what Amy said, like, I moved to this country because of the Constitution, you know, and the people that get deported are people like Amy and I. Those are the people that get deported. The people that pay taxes, people that work hard, people that pay. I paid thousands of dollars in lawyers, building packages, proving everything that I ever did, everything that I ever said, and those are the people that are getting deported. The guys that are working in tech, the guys that are working like in fields that have degrees. Those are the guys.
Well, you follow the law, and they hate the law. They hate the Constitution. So why would they respect you if you follow the law? They want you to break the law because they hate the law.
Thing, I see all these migrants coming in. They don't know what America's about. That's the thing, and I think it's the only thing we can do on our side is to grab those guys, because what they're doing is votes. We know this. They want new
On top of everything else. On top of flooding the system.
They're flooding the system because they want new voters. That's what they do. You know, like there was an article last week how they give them, you know, like literally political propaganda to vote for Biden. Did you see that?
I saw it written on the thing that, like, here, make sure you vote for Joe Biden. He's the one that brought you here. We need another 4 years of this so you can bring everybody that you know and your family and everybody to come. I saw it.
I think Cubans from Hialeah need to lead the charge and tell it how it is. We need a TV network, just Cubans from Hialeah.
If anyone can solve this, it's going to be the Cubans.
From Hialeah.
Well,
because they're more Republican than like most of the
at some
country.
point, people taking the shit into their own hands. I saw a boat yesterday drive up on fucking in Florida somewhere, and 30 illegals ran out, and people are just recording on their phones. Fucking tackle these pieces of shit.
Right.
It's an invasion. If I was there, I would have chased them and tackled them.
Well, those ones are coming from Cuba, and that's fair. I mean, not to defend it, but it's fairly common that happens here in South Florida. In and of itself, a problem.
If one of and again, people, everybody. No, Rob, I know what you're saying, but what my stance is, all these leftist pieces of shit that are like, and I'm really sorry today. It's like the 4th time I cuss. All these people that are like, no, come on. The Statue of Liberty says this and it says that. Until one of these people does something to your family or to you, or your car gets rear-ended and an illegal hits you and your whole family's in there and somebody dies. It's only a matter of time, and I hope it happens to those people instead of the innocent people that are anti-illegals and they have to have family members die.
What do you think about the guy from Dearborn, Michigan? There was like Death to America.
Oh, yeah.
He should get immediately deported.
Guess what?
How is that not a domestic terrorist?
Yeah, no,
that is terrorism, not domestic terrorism.
What about freedom? And guess what?
Yeah, freedom of speech.
Say whatever you want. You could say whatever you want, but guess what? There could be consequences.
But they selectively apply it. They don't apply that to January 6th or anything.
Oh, yeah. They could kiss my ass.